welcome to the Intel Brief. Today is Thursday, September the 4th. I'm your host, Daniel, and let's see what we're going to talk about today. That was different. So firstly, ending the war. Putin tells Ukraine to end the war via talks or he will end it by force. The UK Deputy Prime Minister is fighting to save her career after admitting to underpaying tax. And the US African Union are going to attend the second oversight committee for the Congo-DRC Rwanda peace deal. So firstly, Russian President Vladimir Putin has told Kiev on Wednesday that there was a chance to end the war in Ukraine via negotiations if common sense was to prevail, an option he says he prefers, but that he was ready to end it by force if that was the only way. Speaking in Beijing at the end of a visit that resulted in an agreement on a new gas pipeline to China, Putin said he perceived a certain light at the end of the tunnel, given that he said there were efforts by the United States to find a settlement to Europe's biggest land war since World War II. So what? I don't think Putin believes this. I don't think he thinks there's any way these negotiations will work in their current form. I think what he's saying now is most likely trying to appease Trump and the United States to give Trump the ability to say that, no, Putin wants to be in these peace talks, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, that's my initial thoughts. Of course, the peace deal would work if Ukraine just laid down their arms and let Putin have whatever he wanted. But that's not a peace negotiation. That's surrender. I don't think Russia has the ability to end this by force without the use of nuclear weapons. Their current tactics are stalling. They're failing. They require far too much people and equipment, and they're losing lots of people for very small gains. There is a chance that Ukraine will run out of people. Well, it's almost certain that Ukraine will run out of people before Russia, but Ukraine is using drones to offset the loss of people, something that Russia isn't really using to the same levels. So yeah, I think it's highly likely that if Putin could finish this by force without the use of nuclear weapons, he would have done it by now, as this is absolutely wrecking the Russian economy and is a horrific war. So yeah, I don't know. It still just seems like bullshit to appease Trump to me. And next, the British Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner was fighting for her political career on Wednesday after acknowledging she had underpaid property tax owed when she bought an apartment in the South English seaside resort. Rayner, who is also the British Housing Minister, has been under scrutiny for days over her purchase of a flat in Hove and whether she deliberately avoided paying the correct rate of tax. So what? This is just funny. Because Labour is supposed to be the party of the people that, does the right thing. And they're just, all politicians are the same, right? They're all just fucking dodgy bastards. She just clearly didn't want to pay the full amount of tax, so did some creative accounting to lower the tax rate, which, fair play. Everyone wants to do that, and everyone's going to do that. But don't do it when you're the fucking housing minister. And if you do, just admit to it. And I think Trump is the first politician I've seen handle this quite well when confronted by it, that everybody tries to lower the amount of tax they pay. And it's just what people do. That's how you need to approach it. Otherwise, you're fucked. But yeah, I think she might be screwed here because this looks really fucking bad. And also, they just bang on about, people paying their share and XYZ, they're putting up taxes, and then she does this. It flies in the face of everything they stand for and talk about. And lastly, Qatar, the United States, Togo, and the African Union Commission have participated in the second joint oversight committee for the peace deal between the DRC and Rwanda, the United States Department said in a joint statement released on Wednesday. The committee members acknowledged slowness in implementation of some elements of the agreement, according to the statement. The DRC and Rwanda committed to a technical level intelligence and military channels for direct exchange of information in the most advanced of its kind in the region at a meeting in Doha. So what? I don't think this peace agreement is worth the paper it's written on. The conflict isn't between the DRC and Rwanda claim they don't have any control over the rebel alliance, the River Rebel Alliance, or whatever the fuck they call themselves, M23. So yeah, why would they care? And I think I talked about it earlier this week. They're not happy with the peace deal and say it's not working and are about to break it. So yeah, this oversight committee of this peace deal is just a bit of a joke, really. It's quite possibly just something Trump made them all do so that he can claim he ended another war while the butchering and murdering continues in the eastern DRC. Yeah. Like, no territory's changed. Nothing's been sorted. The underlying issues are still here. This conflict is just going to continue. So yeah, fucking pointless. But yeah, I guess hopefully it works in the end, but I'm hesitant and doubtful. So yeah, maybe a bit pessimistic today, I guess. Anyway, thank you for listening to the Intel Brief. I've been your host, Daniel, and I'll see you again tomorrow. See you.